Everyone, welcome back to 5-Day Crypto. Today we're going to be looking at altcoins. We got several requests. These are all by request. So if you don't cover your coin today, leave in a comment below and we'll do it hopefully next week, depending on how this video does. Let's get right to it. So everything that you see on the right above my head here in the green is what we're going to be doing. I got about I think about 17 coins I'm going to be doing. So we're going to go down the list, right down the list. Nothing, no particular order. Nothing against your coin if I, don't speak highly of it, right? I'm not a fundamental analyst. I don't focus on you. Most of you, if not all of you, probably know these coins ins and outs much better than I do or ever will. I'm a chart pure TA. I've looked at the charts. Whatever the strongest charts are, that's what I tend to focus on. So don't get your feelings hurt if I don't, give you the warm and fuzzies on your said coin. It has nothing to do with your coin's fundamentals or anything like that. Just looking at pure charts, and we're going to focus on support zones and resistance zones, where the kind of the flip levels are if you want to buy again after things turn more, or should I say less doom and gloom. So that's what we're going to look at first and foremost. I've gone through all these and I've kind of set them up so keep this video as short as possible and as few rambles as possible as you're seeing now. So first of all, looking at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's the king leader, the market mover. So we need to at least focus on a brief summary of what's going on here. So 1, 2, 3, and we just hit our weekly fourth rejection in a row of attempting to overtake the 14-week EMA in the purple there. You see that? All 4 weeks tried and all 4 weeks have failed so far. So that will be our first big step if we get above that and close a weekly candle. But not looking great so far. Bitcoin on the weekly printing a bearish candle so far, but we got to give it a ways to go. 2 days, 8 hours until we close. Anything can happen, obviously. So let's get right to it. Matic is the first up, and looking at the weekly chart, let's zoom in here. Right, let's put it on auto. Okay, so our resistance zone is up in here because 2 weeks here, and previous support flip broken is now resistance. Support, any kind of time you break a major support or resistance line, it will flip into the opposite for the most part. So now that's where we are. Until we can close above 130 level, I'd be hesitant to turn macro bullish, but once we do, right, we have some breathing room up here. For the most part, we're just going sideways. We're at support around 75 to around 70 cents. That's kind of the zone. We've seen several wicks on the weekly chart. We're going to do weekly on all of these coins. So that's where I'm at for Matic until one of those levels breaks, right? Not much going on. You could just stay in this zone for months on end. And that's with all these coins that we're going to look at. So let's go on to Link. Chainlink, what we need to be looking at. Made a Chainlink video, I believe, in the past couple days. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Covers more in depth of what I'm looking at here. But the primary flip level you need to be watching is this 200 week, which coincidentally will probably be around $10 if and when we get back above it again. That's kind of this zone where we've hit kind of these there's 3, 4, 5 weeks. We've attempted to get above $10 with no success. And then conversely, on the flip side, we have, 1, 2, really 3, 4, 5 weeks. So 5 on top, 5 on bottom, support and resistance zones. So that support starts around 580 going down to about 530. If we lose that, I mean, there's bigger drops ahead probably if that, comes. So looking at resistance, $10 level, the 200 week, if you want to be safe, you don't want to be as risk averse as possible. You wait till some of these coins or all of whatever your coins you're trying to get in again, get above their 200 week, then should be relatively smooth sailing. That's the safest option you can do. So Litecoin, let's moving right along. Same again on the top side, the 200 week, if you want to be super safe, because it would also kind of take out this lower support zone, which we held for a couple months there. And then we broke it in a pretty big way here, and now we're attempting to get and flip back above it. So you want to be watching that, see if we can make at least a higher low. If we come back down, like we're looking around the 45 to 50 level down here. If we could put in a higher low, right, we're still in this kind of slow moving uptrend, at least since the past 6 months or so. So that's Litecoin wrapped up as fast as possible. Looking at Chiliz, right? Chiliz is a complex beast right now. We have a massive, like, year-long potential inverted head and shoulders. First shoulder, head, and potential right shoulder. And you might say, well, we're going way lower than this shoulder, and that's okay, right? Head and shoulders can be slightly off, right? But we definitely, you have to put a higher low end of this, and really it needs to be more clearly defined. So it's kind of our flip level, kind of right here around the 12-cent area. If you see Chiliz below 12 cents, we're in danger not only of coming down to like the 9-10 cent level again, but also invalidating a annual one of the biggest inverse head and shoulders I've ever seen. So if this does play out and we do kind of hold this and grind along this 12-13 cent level, and then we start to move up again, say going into spring and March time, right? See the time frame down here. I would say that we're in for probably the one of the biggest explosive moves in altcoin we haven't seen since, altcoin season last time, right? Because of this annual year-long inverse head and shoulders playing out. Anytime if we get above 30 cents again, be a part of that train, right? It'd probably be in your best interest to, because you got some serious running room. Like it could do like a 2 or 3x after doing a 2 or 3x, right? Relatively quickly. So certainly keeping an eye on this. Chiliz is definitely in my big radar. Okay, so that's, hopefully you're resonating with that. Keep that on your list. Avax, had a request for Avax. Let's get to it. Avax, arrow, right? Why the arrow there, right? That's the EMA 14. Look at where you reject that, right? This is the issue, right? If we flip the EMA 14 around $15 and going down, right? So it's getting better for you each week. That'll be the level, because you haven't done it before. You want to look for your coin doing things it hasn't done in a long time. In the good way, right? Not in a long, like we're the lowest we've been in a long time. The support zone, right? Going back, since January 2021, we hit it again in June of 2021, and we're potentially going to hit this again, sometime maybe in the next month or two, if we continue to move down. Obviously, everything's going to be following Bitcoin. If Bitcoin decides to do an about face and go to 20K tomorrow, then, maybe the bottom is in for most of these. But we're just playing the odds, right? Support zones around, $10.50 to, $9 range. You don't want to see that broken. Otherwise, you're in danger of coming down to, early kind of support and resistance here. We're looking around, we're looking at a big drop, right? It's not much you want to do here. This is like a 50% move down to your next support area. So fingers crossed, T's dotted, whatever that means, that we hold this area if we come down to it. Okay, that's Avax. Let's see. I gotta get a sip of water in my mouth. Cotton mouth. All right, here we go. Aave, flip level to the bulls. Kind of 120. I'd wait to get above here to be ultra safe, right? We could go sideways for a long time, as we have been on for a long time. We hit kind of the support zone back in June, and we're back here at it now. Are you catching a trend with all these coins? Some of these coins are back at major support zones. And going all the way back to kind of entry back in 2020, right? Initial liftoff. So we're back here now. We need to hold this, the lowest, like 45, and then your guess is as good as mine where this could go, right? So we better hope that we do not drop a whole lot further. So what do we have? We got about, 17% till we get to our kind of lows here. So holding that for Aave. If you wanted to buy Aave again, I still think the safest level would be here, right? We're kind of in this bear zone here. The bull zone would kind of flip above like 115, 120 right there. So hopefully you can see that. Moving right along, FTM. Let's see what we got next. There you can kind of see the list of what's coming up. Just the greens for now. So FTM on the weekly, right? There's your kind of flip bull zone above 40, 45 cents. Take out all these kind of lows that we've been in a great majority of 2022, right? Since the massive downfall. Not a whole lot of support here, right? Based on the chart. Maybe you got more history than this, but this is all I got. So looking at FTM, right, your lows, 17 cents. If you drop past that, where are we going? I don't know. Nobody knows. Same thing. EMA 14, close above that, and then there's the bulls are potentially fighting back here. So FTM wrapped up. Really, not a whole lot to go on because not a lot of history. So looking at Doge. Doge, one of the meanest looking candles on the weekly chart that I've seen. That is a shooting star at the top of a super move. Shooting star has the long wick on top, closes just below the close of the previous candle, which we have, and that is a near certainty of going down, which we are in. And then you got a bounce back to that retest. Look at the wick. It hit almost exactly where that wick was. So if you see these, you open a short or sell once this confirms on this candle. This is the confirming candle, not the shooting star. You want to wait for the confirmation. The confirmation is, let me zoom in here and show you. So the confirmation would be right as you lose this low wick. So right there, you either get out of your position or short and try to make some more back. If you kind of bought the top of that candle or that candle, right? So Doge, that's kind of the flip level too. I'd be looking at, because it kind of take out all these wicks. I'd be looking at 17, 18 cents if you're looking to play. I mean, you can go way back here. I mean, there's July 2021. So 18 cents, if Doge gets back above that, I think we've got some room and bulls are probably back in charge. On the flip side, the support zone's right around 5 cents here. Give or take. Look at this wick, right? Yeah, if we go below that wick, it's probably in bigger trouble. But support zone, we still have a ways to go to get to that. Let me look here if I can get the right tool. I'm going to try to take some measure moves for some of these coins. Not working. There we go. Okay, so we're at 30% to go back to there. So I like our odds of holding that. So if you see Doge back at 5 cents, 6 cents, and you think that's going to do well next market, then that would be your area, because your risk reward ratio is off the charts there. You buy here and you put your stop loss in like at 0.48, right? If you lose that, then you've lost almost nothing and you have a potential major upside going. Okay, so that's that. QNT is next. Okay, I like QNT. I think it's on my radar for next cycle. Let's put it that way. So, looking at this though, we have some potential short-term devastating pattern maybe playing out here. So, shoulder, head, potential shoulder, right? This could invalidate if we start taking out this top, right? But if we come back down here around 94, 95, all the way down to maybe 87, I'll get to 87. If we break that, odds go way up of us coming back down to this zone, and it's a big zone, right? We're looking at, $40 to $60 zone, because there's not much of support. If you don't have a lot to go on, then that's pretty weak support, right? So this is a loosely fitted support zone, because of that. So the bigger support zone is up here, right? If we lose 88 or 85, I should say, right? 85, we're most likely going down here, right? So, and that would also kind of confirm this head and shoulders pattern, and that's kind of your neckline, and that's where you would open up a short or get out of your position there. Okay, so let's see what else we got. We got we got about 7 more with KDA. Just if you're interested, KDA, Hbar, XVG, SNX, ALGO, GRT, and NEAR. Those are the ones I'm doing. If I missed yours, again, leave me a comment. And if you don't want to watch anymore, you're not interested in any of those, then you can click off here. KDA, let's get to it. Support zone, blank, deer in the headlights there. We're looking at the same thing, right? A lot of these coins, you want to look where they rejected previously. So step 1 would be even the EMA 8. You can see even since August, we haven't even been able to close above the EMA 8 on the weekly. That's the red line. The horizontal red line is kind of where I would really come back into the market. If you're out of your position or in your position now, it's real risky, right? We're in kind of the bear trap here. Bear zone, I should say. Bear trap's an actual thing. So bear zone down in this area, not much support again to work off with. So your guess is as good as mine or anyone else's where this ends up stopping. But what step 1, overtake the 8. Step 2, the bigger, right? We haven't been above the EMA 14 ever on this chart, right? So we got to wait for that. And you know, the EMA 8 is step 1, but it's a cautionary step because look at this arrow, right? We did it before and didn't hold it much at all, right? So EMA 14, flip it, or you can wait for kind of the $1.40 level to flip that, and then we'll probably pick up some pace again. Now, the good thing about these charts that if they start to pick up again, there's not a whole lot of resistance, and that's where you can get some big booms. So if you're a believer in this, kind of wait for this flip level, you'll still have plenty to go. Maybe we don't get back above this, right? Who knows, right? Nobody knows if we're going back to all-time highs ever, right? For any of these coins, especially even Bitcoin, right? That's the odds, but if you're 100% certain that Bitcoin's going to 100K in X amount of years, shake that from your mind, right? There's no guarantees in crypto or anything in life but death so far. Maybe someone sidetracked. All right, we're going to Hbar. Got to keep it light sometimes. All right, Hbar, right? Big concern. We lost this wick. That was our low. That's where we are now. Look at this, right? Rejection off the EMA 8, if the EMA 14. So, you know, use your, I'm going to repeat myself time after time, right? Close above the EMA 8, close above the EMA 14, where you've rejected at. That's the biggest step to see the bulls coming back into your favorite coin. Okay, so support zone. And this is, again, difficult painted support zone, right? Because look at the volatility, right? Like a porcupine here on volatility. So we're looking like, you know, 3.5 down to maybe 3 cents for the support zone. But the bigger concern is we lost this massive liquidation wick, and now we're like printing candles potentially this week under that. So big concern there. We're looking at, you know, probably minimum since we broke that. Hello. Nope, not working. Okay. Well, we're looking at a minimum of dropping to, you know, 3.5, 4 cents, or 3.5 to 3 cents, right? That's our next logical level. Because we lost that wick, because of all of this interaction back in here from October to December. I mean, that was, you know, basically all of Q4 you spent in this zone. So hopefully we can hold that if we come down here, but that is concerning nonetheless. Go to XVG. You're catching a similar pattern of a lot of these alts, right? Under the EMA 8, under the EMA 14, rejected off the EMA 8, rejected off the EMA 14. You guessed it. Very little support zone, but look at this. I wanted to show you this pattern here. This kind of triple top, this failed W pattern, right? This should be bullish. That should break. And you buy at the top of these wicks, right? So you would have purchased or bought or longed about, you know, 3.8, even 4 cents would have been great. However, this pattern confirmed bearish triple top when you break out. A bear pattern confirms not here. It confirms after you break the bottom, right? This was the confirmation when you break even this wick or even these closes, right? So this is where you exit, right? If you bought anywhere in here, this is your failed confirmation pattern, and you would have exited somewhere in this area, right? Whether it be just under this wick or under this close, right? You have to watch this for next run, right? So because you messed up this run doesn't mean you have to mess up forever. Be smarter and realize that studying patterns is the best way. I mean, if you would have got out here, even if you bought anywhere in here, right, you'd be at a loss, but you'd be way up on look at how much you would have saved. You're 85% from that point, not from the highs. You're 85% from this pattern playing out and proving itself that this is breaking down, right? And you got your retest, underside retest of the failed pattern, right? Right to it, right? And then rejection, and been black diamond ski slopes ever since. So once we see this pick up again, I'd be looking kind of in this zone, maybe around, you know, half a penny right in there to flip, right? EMA 34, EMA 21, watch those weeklies. A lot of coins will pick up steam after the above the EMA 21 weekly. So let's moving right along. SNX. Broken support already. We're at the more minor support, right? Much less touch points down here. The more touch points you have, the stronger that zone or trend line or whatever line, right? You want as many touch points as possible. Now, SNX has gotten a little bit more bullish than if you've noticed on some of these other altcoins we've looked at. So why do I say that? Well, not my opinion. It's the facts. Look at how high these runs went, right? Most of these runs topped off on these other coins at the EMA 8 or 14. This one's getting above almost all of them, right? So, and multiple times. But showing a little bit less bullish each time, right? Above the 21 there, then we cross down, then above the 50 in the green. Sorry, my voice. I think I'm losing my voice. We're going back up again. Rejection at the EMA 34, back up again. Rejection 21. So it's running out of steam. You see that? So keeping a pattern right there. Maybe if we come up again, we try to get to the 14. So we need to be holding down in here, but really, you want to see us climbing back up the stairs here. So the first step is around 280. Then you go look at these top wicks, 450. These are big jumps, right? $8. So very, very steady downtrend here. But, nice reversal points. We'll see how this ends up doing next run. But your flip zone is really about $3, right? I kind of be more hands off until around $3. Overtake some of these moving averages. You can see that right there. Algorand, we're looking at resistance zone, this kind of double top. Look at this perfect like tweezer top right here. Tweezer tops when you have, two upper points, two upper shadows, upper wicks that, stop at the exact or near exact same level, which this one did. That's a huge reversal sign and a warning shot. And then follow up. I mean, look where we've been since then, right? So we lost that. Rejection off of that support zone. So that's the level to flip, right? We get above 46 cents, then we're probably good to go again. On the other hand, right, zooming out, massive support zone again, all the way down to like a penny. If you can believe that, is that right? No, 9 cents. Okay, 9 cents to 20 cents, right? We're at it right now because of all the support back in here, all the touch points. But look at the momentum pickup on this capitulation. That was during COVID. So we're now re-entering COVID zone drop levels for ALGO. So keep in mind, that is a huge drop point, right? That's 50% from 20 cents to 10 cents. That's pretty insane, right? There you go. 50% down in anywhere in that zone. So we need to be holding here or we're in risk of doing that. So watch that. If you're looking to, buy more, you gotta wait until we get back above and show a little bit more bullish signs. At least the EMA 21, right? We close above that, but we've done that before, right? So the safest zone is above 46 cents for Algo, plain and simple there. So two more left, GRT and near. So GRT, drew a question mark because there is no support zone, right? I mean, look at that at the chart. We don't know where this could go. So that is the reasoning for that. Question marks remind me of Joker. Anybody? Or the Riddler. The Riddler, that's the one with Jim Carrey. That was kind of a weird movie, but whenever I see question marks like that now, I think of Jim Carrey. It's weird. My mind goes in weird places. So GRT kind of lost this kind of sideways trend. And look again at broken support, right? Came back, underside retest, held resistance, and this is where we are now. Sideways again, right? The big picture, right? Look how big this is, and then like a mini of the same exact thing. You break it, and you come back and retest and reject again, right? So this is like a fractal pattern, right? Patterns tend to repeat in different time frames and different scales, and this is like a perfect example of that. So GRT just playing out, breaks the zone, comes back and retests, and breaks down. Again, enters the zone sideways, breaks out, comes back to retest, breaks down. Now, so if we rinse and repeat, then who knows, right? I don't see a potential. Maybe you have more history on this, but for me, there's no clear telling point of where this is going to end. So another big step, close above the EMA 14. Look at that, perfect rejections off of that. So currently around 8 cents that's moving down week over week. So by the time we, recover it, could be at 5-6 cents. But until we close above that, kind of hands off. Last but not least, near, if it loads. There we go. All right, so near, kind of a big mountain kind of looking thing. You kind of maybe use a loose kind of shoulder, massive, big head as big as, Tyra Banks or something. That's just the only one I knew that had the big forehead. Anybody got a bigger head that I don't know about? It's terrible. maybe a loose shoulder here, kind of weak though. And then we're potentially breaking that right here, right? See this kind of point right here? We lost that, right? That's kind of the level we're at. And now we're breaking down. So I would think the odds are we go back down to around the dollar area. I mean, we're losing this wick as we speak. We have very little to go on off of this thread, right? We're trying to hold up a major price by a thread. The bigger zone is here, and that's even not that big of a zone, right? You can see that not a whole lot of time is spent in here. So kind of rough looking chart, to say the least. But again, the theory is buy above the EMA 14, hands off until then. You'll have plenty of upside after you get above that. But rejection, double rejection off the EMA 14s, and then rejected since the EMA 8. Step 1, 8. Step 2, 14. It's kind of the theme for the day. So that's kind of wrapped up altcoin video. If you like this, for the 4 of you that are still watching, and I use that liberally for probably 1 or 0. I appreciate you watching this long. If you have, that's altcoins. Maybe we'll try to keep it to like 10 altcoins per video to keep it a little less. I know this is a long one. Maybe you like the long ones. Maybe you just like hearing my retarded looking voice. I hate the sound of my voice. I think most people do. Mine especially. So I don't even know why I'm still talking. I'll see you on the next one. Happy Friday. Go do something fun. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. It's not much. All right.